Hey everyone, Ari Fuld. I'm back here on the border of Gaza by the kindergarten that was hit. I went to the back of the kindergarten to get a closer look of the damage that was here. Again, we're talking about from 6:59 until 7:35 approximately. Over 50 mortars were shot at the areas of the Jewish towns and the schools. I'm in front right now of a kindergarten. That's right, you can see the kindergarten has fortified walls here, and on the walls you can actually see the marks from the shrapnel from the mortar that was fired here. The back pole that's right there is a hole from a huge piece of shrapnel that blew through that hole, blew through the pole over there. And remember, this was right before school was starting. Kids, according to the news, were actually on their way to schools. Of course, some parents were driving their kids in. Others were walking in by foot. Thank God they were not in this area when these mortars flew. You could see the effect. Half this tree is completely shaved down. You could see the wall of the school is scarred with the shrapnel marks over there. The pole over there is a hole that's blown right through the pole. Right there, you could see it. And in my hand, and I want to say thank you to some guys who are here covering the story. I have the pieces of shrapnel. I want you to look. These are pieces of shrapnel from the mortar fire here on an Israeli kindergarten. We are talking about mortar fire that was meant to murder and kill kids in this kindergarten. Thank God, literally by miracle, and of course by time-wise also, that no kids were here, because if kids were here, this would have been a horrific tragedy and a real mess for Israel. But I want you to look at this. Those of you who've seen the shrapnel that I came home with from Lebanon that blew through my vest, these are small pieces. So on the one hand, the big piece obviously can kill someone, but these little pieces are very dangerous, especially with children. Any part of the body that they go into can cause real life-threatening consequences. And again, we're here at a kindergarten in Israel. I'm holding the shrapnel in my hand from this mortar fire. You're watching, and again, for those around the world, whether it's the media or whether it's people, whatever it might be, if you dare point the finger at Israel in any case, in any scenario, either your moral compass is broken or you're terribly ignorant. We are talking about mortar fire. These are the shrapnel from the mortar that landed in an Israeli Jewish kindergarten. And there's really absolutely no excuse for this. This is literally a crime. These are what Hamas on the other side of the border are firing at. And I want to remind everyone, although for 12 years Hamas has not given elections, and the PA has not given elections to the Arabs either in Judea and Samaria, the Hamas were elected by a Democratic majority in 2005. Yes, they did throw out the PA afterwards, but we're talking about a radical Islamic terrorist organization. So anybody who can possibly blame Israel or point the finger at Israel for reacting, and that's the main word here, reacting. The IDF is now underway with its response. And what would happen if, God forbid, kids would have been injured here, we would have had a full-scale operation in Gaza. Personally, I don't understand why Israel has to wait till people are actually killed. This is a declaration of war. In any sane country, this would be a declaration of war. However, Israel has been firing at Hamas installations. There were reports coming in Khan Yunis and other areas. Jane said, can you please explain what happened to this place filled with kids? I'd rather not. And again, you could see the branches that completely fell down over there. You could see the branches on top. And again, look at the pole over there. That is a hole right there. That is a hole from a piece of shrapnel. I'm going to turn the camera around so you see it. That is a hole that one of these pieces of shrapnel, you could hear the explosions right now. The IDF is right now attacking Hamas, attacking in Gaza. Those explosions that you heard just in the background are, we hope, the IDF and not coming this way. But if this place just 20 minutes later, if that would have landed here just 20 minutes later, God forbid, we would have had a real tragedy on our hands. I personally don't understand why Israel is waiting till, God forbid, someone is killed. This in any sane country would be a declaration of war. And again, I want to show you the shrapnel that I have in my hand. This is shrapnel from a mortar that was fired from the Gaza Strip into Israel. And I'm going to finish off with one other thing. People are talking about they don't have water and food and whatnot. Please, do me a favor. They have missiles and rockets. Israel sends in hundreds of tons of aid and food and medicine in, and they burned the Kerem Shalom crossing. They burned it down time and time again. And just to remind everyone out there, Gaza is not only surrounded by Israel, there's a huge border that there's a Arab country named Egypt that borders with Gaza. Most of the aid, water, medicine comes from Israel. So no, it's not surrounded by Israel, and we're not closing the borders. We send the aid in. We don't want to allow open borders so they can't get more of this stuff in there. But please, if they're building missiles and rockets and mortars, you know, don't tell me about the shortage of water and food. It's absolutely ludicrous. It's ridiculous. The IDF right now is en route to respond to this act of terrorism. All right, you listen to Ari Fuld here. Please don't forget to like the page, the Israel Defense page. We'll be back a little bit later on from different areas in around the area. Take care, everyone, and God bless.